Hi, this is Benjamin Rolnick, and I want you to imagine a very familiar scene. You're standing in the cereal aisle of the grocery store, and you're wondering what kind of cereal to buy. And you have two choices. Either you painfully deliberate over all of your choices. You go through every cereal box and you go, do I want the yellow one? Do I want the brown one? Do I want the one with a bee on it? Do I want the one with a bear on it? Because there's 60 different brands that have the same exact type of frosted cereal, frosted flakes, frosted cornflakes, frosted little O's, whatever it is. Or do you just sort of like walk up and grab whatever one's most available to you and then walk out and pay for it? Now, the difference between these two decision styles is what's called maximizing versus satisficing. And my whole life, almost my whole life, I spent maximizing. I spent deliberating over every single little decision and making sure I was making the right one, whether or not I was buying cereal or a toothbrush or deciding what I wanted to do with my day. And I found that growing up, my dad and my brother were totally satisficers, and it drove me absolutely crazy. They could walk into any store, they could walk into literally an art gallery and just kind of look at the wall and go, yeah, I'll take that one. I'll just buy it. Why not? And they felt so satisfied with their decision, whereas my mom and I used to just painfully deliberate over any little thing that we could ever decide, much less big decisions like who we wanted to be in a relationship with or what I wanted to study at school, or what book I decided I wanted to read that day, or how I wanted to schedule my weekends. Now, how do you think this turns out for both those groups? So, for satisficers, they end up being totally satisfied with any decision that they make, and they don't really spend that much time making decisions either. Whereas maximizers, it's very different. They end up painfully deliberating, as I've said 30 times, painfully deliberating over what decision they're going to make, and then feeling unsatisfied and unhappy with whatever decision they end up making. Why? Because then they always think to themselves, what if I could have chosen something better? What if I could have chosen something better? Now, ultimately, this is important because spending my life as a maximizer, I always thought maximizing is the right way to live. I'm just helping myself make the best decision possible. And there's a difference between maximizing and healthy striving. There's a difference between maximizing and doing my best and maximizing and self-improvement. Now, the difference lies in perfectionism. Oh man, it's a juicy term. And the question is, why am I doing what I'm doing? You see, excellence is the intention to do my best. And perfectionism is holding up a 20-ton shield to protect myself from ever feeling judgment, blame, or shame in my life. You see, self-improvement is moving towards growth, to be fulfilled, to be satisfied in my life. Whereas perfectionism is needing the approval of others. It's other focus. It's not focused on myself and my self-improvement. See, there is such a thing as healthy striving towards success, which is actually stepping into the arena of life and doing what I need to do and knowing that I'm going to get kicked around a bit, but still putting myself out there anyways. See, perfectionism will never get you through the door because you'll be so afraid of the fear of failure, so afraid of rejection and what other people think that you end up absolutely paralyzed. As a maximizer and achiever, I never experienced shame in my life. I just got more perfect. And what I've learned about this since is that perfectionism is actually the achiever's word for shame. And let me explain it in the vicious cycle of perfectionism. So I think to myself, I just want to get better in my life. Because I'm a maximizer. I'm maximizing the utility that I can experience in every moment. But then what happens? Invariably, I come up across failure, rejection, people not liking me, something not working in my life, judgment, and shame. And then what do I think to myself? I think to myself, well, if I'm just more perfect, if I just maximize a bit better in the future, then I'll never have to experience that emotion again. So I had a Chinese doctor growing up who saw everyone from the Queen of England to A-list celebrities, and he'd always say to me, without health, what's the deal? Because he would see these people who had billions of dollars, they strived to be the best in their world, but then they had no health to enjoy their success. And he was seeing me, and I was sick almost every month because I would constantly try to do my best. But it wasn't really doing my best. It was just being better and better and better and better to try to protect myself from failure, from rejection, from feeling shame in my life. So there was no end to it, but the result was I was sick all the time. And there is a way out. If that's you, whether or not you're loaded up with way too much coffee and not spending enough time with the people or the things that you care about, or you're on the extreme like me where you were getting sick all the time, literally, colds and sinus infections and staying in bed or feeling depressed, that gets into the picture too. There is a way out of it that's taken me a very long time to figure out, but it really looks like this. The secret is moving from what will people think to I am enough. Let me say that again. The secret is moving from what will people think. That's the striving to be perfect. That's the maximizing as a very unhealthy thing where it must be better and better and better and better and better to I am enough. I'm enough right now exactly as I am. And I've learned a mantra in my life. It comes into these videos. It's the reason why I could even make videos like this as opposed to painfully deliberating. Now use that expression again all day long forever and not getting any video done. And that is, done is better than perfect. So much love, many blessings. I'm Benjamin Rolnick, and just get out and satisfice today.